Hey guys, I hope everyone is doing well today. So we're going to be revisiting the GloWish Skin Tint by Huda Beauty. So in my last video, I tested this out and I just did not like how it wore on my oily skin. I thought it looks like overly glowy, kind of reflective and iridescent looking on my face. And I wore it for about 4.5 hours and I just did not like the way it wore in that amount of time. I just thought it was just too much going on my face. I think this would be a good product for someone who has normal to dry skin, especially if you really like a glow. But I think for someone like me who has oily skin, this would be better suited for mixing it in with another foundation just to give yourself just a little boost of glow, or for using it as a liquid highlighter on targeted areas of your face. So that's how I'm going to be wearing this today to give it another try. So I'm going to be mixing it with what I think is a very matte foundation, which is the Lancome Tint foundation. So I'm going to see if I like these two mixed together, and I'm also going to be trying this as my cheek highlight, and then I'll wear them for a few hours to see if I like this pair any better as opposed to wearing this on its own on my face. So before we get into all of that, if you're here for the first time, hello and welcome. My name is SonyaNicole and I post new makeup videos here every week, including some stuff for makeup lovers who are 40 and over. So if that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing while you're here today, because I would really appreciate your support and I would love to have you join the channel. Okay y'all, let's jump right into it. Okay, in case you haven't seen my first video on this, I will link it for y'all, but I also want to swatch the color that I got. This is the shade Tan 08. So this is what the shade 08 looks like, and I also swatched the foundation that I'm going to be mixing in. This one is in the shade 455 Suede C. Okay, so this dark swatch over here is the foundation, and then this one is the liquid highlighter. I mean liquid highlighter, no, it's a skin tint, but to me it's like a liquid highlighter. So I'm not sure like how much of this I think I should add into the foundation, because this stuff is like really glowy, like a little bit goes a long way. So I think I'm gonna do pretty much like an even amount of both, because although I think this is really glowy, I also think this foundation is very matte, so I hope that they offset each other, which is why I picked this one. So I'm gonna do kind of like a half a pump of each on both sides of my face. So I'm just gonna pump them directly out. And this skin tint, this gives like a generous pump, like a lot of product comes out in one pump. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pump out about a half a pump of this as well. So when I tried this out, I blended it with a damp sponge, so I'm gonna stick with that for today. This is my EcoTools Bio Blender Sponge. And I can already tell that it's not gonna be nearly as glowy as it was yesterday. I still see some glow, but this already looks a lot better to me than, was that yesterday? Yesterday or the day before? I don't even know, but that was 2 days ago. But yeah, this to me looks a lot better already. Okay, so here is about a half a pump of the skin tint plus half a pump of the matte foundation over here versus nothing over here. And I really like how this looks mixed in so far. Like, I can still see a nice radiance on my skin, but it's definitely toned down compared to how it was with just the skin tint. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side, and I feel like I might build this up just a little bit, but let me get on this side first. So again, I'm doing about half a pump of each. I'm gonna put on just a little bit more. I feel like I had a little bit more of the skin tint over here. Okay, so here we have the product all over my face. So let me know what y'all think, especially if you watched my first video. I definitely like this a lot better. I think that I can still see a good amount of radiance on my face, but it just looks normal. Like the skin tint on its own on my face, to me, it was looking like I put like liquid highlighter everywhere. So this looks a lot better. I'm trying to decide if I want to build up my coverage or just leave it like this. I think I'm going to put on just a little bit more, but I don't want it to be like a full like beat face of makeup today because this is a skin tint, so I kind of want to wear it that way even though I am mixing it in with another foundation. But I'm going to put on just a little bit more on my cheeks just to give myself a little more coverage in those areas. So that's like a little less than half a pump of each product. And I'm just going to concentrate this like right on the cheek area. My face is always breaking out like more than usual whenever I'm testing out a foundation. That's always how it works out for me. But I said that because on this side of my face, my skin is just really having a time over here right now. But oh well. Okay, so that did give me a little more coverage on my cheeks, and I think it did give me a little more glow too. But I do still like it. I think that the glow looks a lot more natural today as opposed to wearing the skin tint on its own. So let me know what y'all think. I like this. I think I have a natural looking glow going on, so liking it so far. So I know some of y'all like to see my full routine even when I'm not doing like a full makeup tutorial, so I'm gonna speed through doing my eye makeup and my concealer, and then I'll come back and show y'all how I'm gonna set the makeup. Then I'll finish everything up and then we'll start the wear test. So everything that I'm gonna be putting on my face, I'll have it listed in the description box. I'm going to set my face the same way that I did the first time that I tried the skin tint out. So this is the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder. This one is in the shade Tan. And this is usually what I set, like any foundation that I'm wearing, this is usually what I set it with. So because this is supposed to be dewy, even though we did mix in a little bit of a matte foundation, I do want to keep some of that glow. So I'm just putting on like a light dusting of this powder on top of the foundation. So I don't know if it's coming off on camera, but even with mixing in a matte foundation and setting this with a powder, even though I just lightly set it, but it's still like the skin tint is still glowing through. Like that's how glowy this stuff is. But I do like it a lot better mixed in with this matte foundation. So I'm going to speed through the rest of my makeup and then we will start the wear test. Okay, I decided to change my lipstick at the last minute, but here is my look for today. I really like the way that this looks. I feel like this is a really nice balance of glow and matte. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a luminous matte foundation kind of sort of. So I'm definitely liking this a lot better than just wearing the skin tint on its own. So let me know what y'all think. Do you see a difference? I'm sure you guys can see a difference between today and when I tried out the skin tint the first time. But I'm also going to do a wear test just to see if this wears any longer than wearing the skin tint on its own. So I wore that for 4.5 hours. So I'm going to wear this for at least that amount of time. But if I feel like after 4.5 hours it still looks really good, I'm just going to stretch it until I feel like it's time to refresh the makeup. So it's It's 2:30 in the afternoon, so I'm going to wear this for a few hours and then I will come back and give y'all my final thoughts on using this as a foundation mix-in. I forgot to put this on my cheeks as a highlight. Okay, let me do that real quick. Even though I already set my face, I meant to put this on before I set my face, but let me quickly highlight my cheeks with this. I'm just going to put just a little bit right here. I'm glad I remembered before I turned the camera off. I'm just going to take this brush. This is what I normally use for like a powder highlighter. I really wanted to blend this out with my sponge, but I guess I'm not going to because the sponge has a good amount of the matte foundation on there too. I actually will have to go on top of this though with the sponge to like tone it down because I apparently put too much on there, but yeah, I put on way too much and I should have known better. Like a little bit of this stuff does go a very long way in terms of glow. So, all right, I'm just gonna use like the flat side of the sponge that doesn't have any of the foundation on there. That looks really pretty. Yeah, this is really nice as a cheek highlight. For those of you who really love liquid highlighters, this is really nice for that. Okay, so now this is my finished look. So we're going to start the wear test and I will be back a little bit later on. So it's about 2:30 in the afternoon, so I will see y'all back here later on. Okay, you guys, I am back and it's 9:30 in the evening, so that puts us at about a 7-hour wear test for today. However, you can definitely see that I'm shiny in my T-zone, which always happens to me. The glow, like the extra glow that I put on my cheeks, is definitely still very noticeable, but the shininess in my T-zone, that started happening maybe about an hour ago, maybe an hour and a half ago, but I just couldn't get back to the camera until now. So I'm gonna say that my face started to get shiny like 5.5 to 6 hours after putting it on earlier. So it's definitely not wearing as long as it would if I were to wear the Lancome foundation on its own. Like this definitely lasts a lot longer on its own, but I wasn't expecting it to last as long because I had a good amount of the skin tint mixed in. So I'm pretty satisfied with the way that this is wearing. I feel like it looks a lot better. If you watch my first video, there was something like weird going on with the skin tint around my mouth, and then when I blotted it, it kind of just went away. So I assumed it was because like just the way that my lights might have been reflecting on the skin tint, because this has a lot of like iridescence or like highlighting properties in it. So because again it's mixed with something that's more matte, it's just wearing a lot better. So yes, I am quite oily, but that's to be expected when you're wearing this. So if you want to try this, I would say just give it a try with any other matte foundation that you might have, and I think you'll pretty much get the same outcome. Even though I really like the way that this wore today, I'll probably only be wearing this as a cheek highlight just because lately I have been more into hydrating or more natural finish foundations. I do have a handful of matte foundations that I like if I want a matte finish, I have like maybe 5 that I would reach for, but I haven't worn them in a long time because I've just been preferring the hydrating or natural finishes lately. So let me know in the comments, especially if you have oily skin. Are you thinking about trying this out, and how do you plan on wearing it? Are you going to try it on its own or mix it with something or just use it as a highlighter? Let me know in the comments. I hope that y'all enjoyed this video today. If you did, please let me know by giving me a thumbs up. Make sure y'all are subscribed before you head out, and I will see y'all back here for my next one. Until then, take care. Have a good one, y'all. Bye.